Hello there, lovely people. My name is Sophia, and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. Today I'm building in Windenburg, in the countryside neighborhood that I'm pretty sure is called Windslar. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, probably not, but I am doing a Christmassy build today because I celebrate Christmas and I was just feeling in the festive mood, so I made this nice little cabin here. We're going to be building in the snow a bit later on, but just so I could see where I was on the lot and what I was doing for the first part of this build. I'm in summer in the standard build mode, but we swap over to the snowy spot pretty quickly. I also switch back to summer at the end just to do a bit of landscaping because it's very hard to see what you're doing in the snow, which is a very realistic thing that The Sims decided to add, which is annoying, but it makes sense. Where I live, we don't get snow. I'm actually in the southern hemisphere, so we have a summer Christmas. But I was just feeling like doing your standard Christmassy build because even though it's very hot and very summery where I live, we've still got the Christmas carols going. We still got a Christmas tree in my living room, even though it is sweltering currently. I'm dying a little bit, but I was feeling in the festive mood, so I built this little house. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, which was surprising. I was very happy with the amount of bedrooms I could fit into here. And yeah, it counts as a small home, where like the tiny home lot type that came with tiny living. It counts as one of those, which is always good to get the added benefits that come with having a tiny home lot. I think I've only actually played with a tiny home once, and it was very useful because I'm definitely like the kind of player that wants my Sims to complete 2 aspirations and max like 5 skills. So the perks that came with the tiny house lot tray, it's very useful. But you can see me putting together the landscaping, or at least the bare bones of it. I just wanted to know where I would have all the gardening plots and all that before we switch over to the snow, which is right here. I of course went for a very stereotypical Christmas color scheme. We got lots of reds, not a lot of green, but the like evergreen trees around it sort of bring in the green when you're in the summer. They're just kind of white when it's in the snow, but as you can see, it's very hard to see what's happening in the snow. It's even harder to landscape, so I popped back into summer after I finished the interior of this house to finish off the landscaping, and I don't show all of it because it was pretty repetitive and I didn't want this video to be very big. But here you can see me adding these little corbels, I think they're called, on the roof. I forgot to do it on the back of the house. I missed so many things in this house. I kept forgetting to do stuff. Like I forgot to put toilet paper in here. I forgot to clutter up a shelf on the inside, and I forgot to add the extra little corbels on the back of the build. So don't worry, I fixed it all up before I've uploaded this to the gallery, and you can find it there if you're interested. This house actually works really well in the other seasons too. That's why I made sure to do the landscaping in summer, just so it would look good. You really just have to take down the streamers and like all 6 Christmas trees inside of this house. I imagine the people who live here just absolutely love Christmas. We don't really decorate the outside of our house for Christmas. We have a few things inside, but we don't really go all out like some of the people in our neighborhood do. But I imagine these were the sort of Sims that, you know, they're fairly into Christmas. It's very Christmassy on the inside, and there's a few decorations on the outside, like that Christmas tree and the snowman. But I also wanted this to be fun for your Sims, so I add a bike and I add a monkey bars set for the child Sim who lives in here, because I imagine it was up to 2 parents and a child Sim. I wasn't thinking of genders, wasn't thinking of dynamics. I just wanted to build something Christmassy or Winterfest-y if you're going for like the in-game Christmas. I really like how they didn't just call all of the holidays in The Sims their real life names. I think it's funny. Like Winterfest, that's very self-explanatory, which I like the cheesy irony of all the weird names The Sims gives their stuff. But yeah, as you can see here, I'm like fixing up this brick extension on the house. That's where the main chimney is. I only placed 1 fireplace in this house because it's pretty small, but I did get 2 chimneys on the outside just because it looks cool, and I'm using that brick from City Living on the outside, and that red siding I think it's from Cats and Dogs. I don't think I've ever used that in that swatch before, but it was very nice. And I think I may have kept the floor plan in for this house, which is something I don't normally do. But it was very easy because I really like open floor plans, so I just went for one of those. And I made that little diamond square pattern on the flooring using that flooring from Vampires, which is very pretty. I saw someone else do this the other day. I don't remember who, but I thought it was great. So I wanted to do it here, but as you can see, very, very strong red color scheme in here because, you know, it just feels like Christmas. Red's one of my favorite colors, so I really like it. If you find it a bit overwhelming, I wouldn't blame you. You could easily swap it out for one of the more neutral swatches of this wallpaper, but of course, I've got to get the Christmas tree in here. And I actually incorporated a bit of yellow into this living room and the industrial loft kit, which really surprised me because I don't think of Christmas when I think of industrial and yellow, but I don't know, I thought it really worked in here. I know red and green can be very overwhelming together, and I didn't want this house to be so over the top Christmas that you couldn't use it in other times of the year, so I just put a few Christmassy decorations up, and I used some of the Christmas colors, but not over the top. And I thought those little wall hangings from the free holiday pack were adorable. I love the little snowman one. He's got such a cute look on his face. And I merged in that mirror from Kids Room stuff into the industrial loft kit console table just because I liked the way it looked. And I didn't really want to put a wall mirror for some reason, but I'm using that lovely rug from Get Famous. This is one of my favorite rugs in game. It just looks so good. And Laundry Day coffee table, and I just get tons of eco lifestyle candles on here just because, you know, it's warm and cozy. I sort of associate candles with Christmas, even though we don't really use them here because it's hot when it's Christmas time, but I thought they looked really cute here. I really struggled with getting them to place the way I wanted to. I struggled to make it look good and cohesive, but I also get a bit of holly on here, like the holly that came with Seasons. I don't really know anything about holly. I don't think I've ever been in the presence of real holly, just because it's summer where I am. But yeah, I thought it looked cute here, and it fits the Christmassy vibe. And I did have to scooch this coffee table a bit closer to the couch in my playtesting just to make sure you could light the fireplace, which was very important. And I apologize if you hear all of the trees around my house crashing because we're having rain right now, which is such a relief considering it has been so hot for the past few days. But yeah, if you hear any like wind blowing, it's just it's not a very good day, but I'm thankful for it because it's been so dry recently. But here I'm just going to be decorating the mantle of the fireplace. I get my favorite eco lifestyle dumpster diving TV and these little mason jar decorations from the free holiday pack, which is going to get an update soon, and I'm very excited for that. But here I'm plucking out a saved room which I got from Simlissy, and it's just the like arts and crafts your kids can make if you have Seasons. Your child sims can create cards and stuff for the holidays, and I just grabbed out one of those so it looks like the child sim had maybe drawn it, or they'd received some cards for some other children in the family, and I thought that was very, very cute. But here is the dining space, and as you can see, red and green, I alternated the colors of the cushions on these cottage living chairs just to look Christmassy, and I get some candles and another Christmas tree on here. I'm not really this into Christmas in real life, but sometimes it's just fun to go all out in The Sims, and I do end up pushing this table over a little bit, and I think I cut that out because it took me too long. But here, I wanted it to look like there were some extra chairs tucked underneath the table because for some reason I really associate this with Christmas, because whenever I'd go over to my relative's house, they'd always have a dinner table crammed against the wall with some chairs tucked into it. Every single relative's house I ever went to at the holidays had that, so that just kind of reminds me of Christmas and when I was little. So I crammed those chairs up against the wall. Of course they aren't functional, but I don't know, I like how they look. They just remind me of when I was little. I know that's kind of a funny thing, but what's your weird association with Christmas? Because I know everyone's got something that doesn't really seem Christmassy, but it always reminds you of Christmas. Mine is that weird smush chair situation, as well as other things. But I just placed down that decorations bucket thing from Seasons, and it's not accessible there, but I placed it just for decoration more than anything, and you can just drag it around in live mode, so if you want your Sims to decorate their house, they can just drag the bucket away. But I created a little gallery wall here because the walls were looking empty, just with a lot of different paintings, and yeah, I really liked how that looked. But this is going to be the kitchen space, and oh, we're doing the bathroom first, I forgot, but I really did struggle with the kitchen. Mostly because there's no windows in it, which was my fault, but anyways. I always seem to struggle with kitchens. I can never match my kitchens to my living rooms, whereas I can always match living rooms to kitchens. So I really should do a kitchen first when I'm doing a house, but I like doing living rooms more, so I always just suffer for it. But this is the downstairs bathroom. I think I kept both the bathrooms in this build, just because why not? They looked interesting because I tried to make them look different. And I'm really happy with how it looks. I used the outdoor retreat appliances, which is very strange. I don't think I've ever used those before, but I thought they worked here. And now we're working on the kitchen. I used those base game counters, and I think all the kitchen stuff is base game except for the fridge. Yeah, I also got these industrial looking cabinets just because I like the color of them. And here is that shelf I mentioned earlier that I forgot to clutter up. I put another one above the sink, which I did clutter, but I forgot to do this one right here on the left of the stove, so it will be decorated in the uploaded version, but it won't be on screen or in the video. But yeah, this kitchen gave me a lot of trouble. I couldn't decide what color to paint the walls. I didn't know how to clutter it up, really. I really struggled with this kitchen. I've been struggling with them a lot lately. I really should look at a reference image every now and again, because I never do that. And that would make it so much easier, but I just didn't want to. But I placed a rose there because I felt like there wasn't enough red in the kitchen, even though there's a whole country kitchen kit red fridge right there. But here you can see me struggle to decide what to paint the wall because, I don't know, I think I ended up keeping it red in the end, but I was really struggling with it. But I love how this kitchen came out in the end. I think it's really cozy. I get a nutcracker over here and a bread box from Parenthood that I can never find in the menu. Just recently, I lost the ability to remember where that bread box is in the catalog, so I keep losing it, but I found it in the end, and I used those sunflowers from base game, which are one of my favorite decorations to place. I think I used those sunflowers in my last build, which is like the artsy CC apartment. I just love those sunflowers. They're so pretty, and I didn't even realize they had swatches until today, so that was kind of funny. And you would have seen me place some books on that counter to the right hand side of the sink, and those blocked my sim from cooking there, so I did have to remove those books because I wanted this kitchen to be functional, and I really cluttered up all the other surfaces, so you know, that had to be the one. So I just removed those books and it works completely fine. And this shelf set is from Laundry Day, and I just put a bunch of little decorations there, and I put a clock inside one of the baskets. I don't know who I saw doing that, but I think it was when Laundry Day was released I saw people, like other YouTubers, placing clocks inside of that shelf decoration, and for some reason that always stuck with me, even though I didn't even have The Sims at that point. But I'm just putting a few decorations on the fridge here, like a cookie jar and some dog treats, because I imagine this family had a dog. I forgot to put dog toys, but I did put a dog bowl, so they technically have all they need, right? I'm not sure. But I did remember to place a trash can down, which is very good. And the weather is just going insane. Can you hear that? It is so loud. Oh no. But I have been putting off doing this voiceover for too long because I'm having family come to stay very soon, and I won't be able to work on videos or do voiceovers because we'll be a house of like 12 people, so that won't really work out. So I'm just gonna do the voiceover anyways. I'm sorry if you can hear the rain, it is so heavy. But this is the master bedroom, and I really like the color scheme in here. It's a color scheme I've never really gone for before. I use this season's bed in a bright orange swatch, and those cats and dogs curtains in the green and yellows. I thought they matched really well with that like Christmassy streamer thing that I hung above the bed. I don't even remember what pack that came from. It might have been Seasons. But I used my favorite movie Hangout wardrobe in here, and I also got another Christmas tree and just a poof. I did have to scooch some things around in here to get my sim to be able to sleep on both sides of the bed, but I got there in the end. So this is a fully functional bedroom, and you can have up to 2 sims in here. But I grabbed those mason jar decorations again, and I really love those decorations. I look back on them fondly because before I had any packs really for The Sims, I just used to use those mason jars everywhere, and as soon as I started getting other packs I stopped using them, which is kind of sad, but I really liked using them here. It sparked a little bit of joy, you know, and I really enjoyed it. And I get out these lights from Cottage Living, which have to be some of my favorite overhead lights in the game, and I just love using them everywhere. But this is the upstairs, and this is for a very lucky child sim because they have their own bathroom as an ensuite, which is very, very nice. But they are just shoved in the attic in a fairly decent sized room, I'd say, but still, I think the ensuite makes up for the fact that they're in the attic. So I love this kids' room. Recently, I've been going for kids who love the outdoors a lot recently, which is hilarious because I was not one of those kids. I was one of the kids that would have never left the house if you didn't make me. But I've been really loving doing rooms like that recently with lots of green because I think green is my favorite color in The Sims now. It's not in real life, but it is in The Sims. So I use that lovely rug from Realm of Magic, which I really enjoy. I think this is my favorite swatch of it. But I imagine this kid likes to collect stuff. So I think they have the kleptomaniac trait. And I just gave them tons and tons of junk. They have shelves covered with things. I imagine they love Christmas and they look forwards to it every year. Or Winterfest, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, I give them so much stuff, and that shelving unit over there is from Eco Lifestyle. And I don't think I've ever used that in a room before, like inside of a house. It's a very outdoorsy gardening garage sort of shelving unit, but I like the look of it, so I used it in here, and I gave them so much stuff on all of these shelves. Just some books and like sports team photos and all the sorts of things you would find in a kid's room. And I gave them their own sort of gallery wall situation, but it's really just knickknacks and stuff that they've gathered over the years, like this, like, what would you call that? Club banner thing? I'm not sure. My favorite little mirror from Movie Hangout. I really love Movie Hangout, so I couldn't help but use it here. A little pennant from Cottage Living, and I don't really remember what else. Maybe some bunnies, maybe another Christmas decoration. Oh yeah, and another pennant from Get Together, which has coffee on it, which is unusual, but I did imagine this sim was a kleptomaniac, so I imagine they probably nicked that out of a coffee shop or something. Don't tell their parents, but yeah, I imagine they just really like to have a bunch of stuff. Which is why they're so happy to have the attic all to themselves, because they can hide all of their junk up here. But I give them a few plants as well, and I did think they liked the outdoors. That's why they have those bear streamer things. I imagine they're probably in not exactly scouts, but in a club that's sort of like scouts. I'm not really sure. I didn't think too much about this kid other than that, but I did give them a Katrina doll because they're so pretty and I never get to use those. So, and I thought they fit in that spot very nicely. And I don't really remember what else I put in this kid's room, probably more junk and Christmas decorations because I did really imagine that they love the holidays. But this is their ensuite bathroom. Lucky little kid. It's really nice up here. I used that bathtub from Cats and Dogs, which is so pretty. It's got like that copper color to it, and I really loved placing those outdoor retreat wall decorations above them with the hearts. I thought it was so cute, but I get another one of those sinks from Outdoor Retreat and just a few rugs. I did end up having to scooch this laundry basket a bit closer to the bathtub to get my sim to be able to access the toilet because that is very important. But yeah, it's a very sweet little bathroom and I really like it. This kid is very lucky for having their own ensuite. I would have loved that when I was little, but I don't know, I just really, really love how this house came out. But here, we're going to be popping out the back to add a little woodworking station, and some snowdrifts. These snowdrifts came with the Snowy Escape debug menu. And yeah, they're just lumps of snow. When it's summer, if you're using this house, I would highly recommend replacing these as the rain goes bonkers. But we have left the snowy area now, and you can see very clearly that those snowdrifts look quite out of place. But you can just delete them once it's not winter anymore. And I added a few of the decorations. I did remember to put the string lights and stuff on the back of the house, but I forgot to put those corbels from earlier. I don't even know if that's what those are called. Corbels? I don't know anything about architecture, but this is a woodworking station. I put these gardening tools on the wall just because I did put some gardening plots in the front yard, so I thought that would match pretty nicely. And I'm just, once again, grabbing this Cottage Living debug fence, which I really love. It's one of the live edit fences I use the most. I really like how it comes with all the broken down pieces, but I also use those big fluffy hedges. I think they're from base game, but I'm not too sure, that I really love to use. I used to hate them because they were giant, but now I really like them because they're giant, so I don't know. opinions change, I suppose. But here I'm just doing a bit of landscaping. I don't show you all of it because it's fairly repetitive, and to be fair, I wasn't really focusing on it too much. Because I did imagine this house was going to be used in winter more than anything, because I designed it for winter. So, didn't put too much attention to the landscaping, but I did use red and white, because I love some red landscaping, and I always do white landscaping, so I decided to mix and match. So, there's a bit of red, bit of white, lots and lots of green, of course, and that cute little snowman lamp, which I love, and a birdhouse. But we are coming up to the end of this video now, so I just wanted to say thank you for sticking around. I hope you like this build. If you celebrate Christmas, I hope you have a good one, and if not, I just hope you have a wonderful December, and I hope everyone had a very, very happy Hanukkah if they celebrate Hanukkah. And yeah, hope you liked this video, and goodbye!